Hi guys, Ken Lusk here with MyStarReport.com with a special video on Chiron. Many of you have asked me for quite some time now to do a video on Chiron, and it seems that every time I sat down to write about Chiron, to write a script for it, I just simply fell short of my own expectations until now. The topic of Chiron is so vast and so expansive and so deep and so complex that words just seem to fail for me until recently. I've decided to actually include an introduction to Chiron in the book I'm writing about the monthly housing system that I use for personal chart analysis and mundane analysis, but will offer the basics here for you by video. And this may take a couple of videos, so this is actually definitely going to take a couple of videos. So look for this to be a series, one behind the other or one above the other. So Chiron is considered a planetoid. It's an asteroid-shaped object that orbits Saturn. And as it orbits Saturn, it passes between Jupiter and Saturn and between Uranus and Saturn, effectively bridging the energies of Uranus and Jupiter. Chiron actually bridges the inner planets of the zodiac, the personal planets, with the extra personal planets. The extra personal planets are the outer planets being Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, of course. The first 6 houses of the zodiac are in the bottom hemisphere of the natal chart, right? The first house to the 5th house being completely personal. The 6th house offering us opportunity to make a connection with the Earth, Mother Earth, Gaia, the mass conscience. The polar of the 6th house being the 12th house, or universal consciousness, or cosmic conscience. And Chiron has been said to sort of be like a secondary ruler of the 6th house. And I do believe that that's partly true. Once we've made that connection with the Earth and are properly grounded there in the 6th house, have experienced that connection, then we're ready to journey on to experience, understand, and evolve through the higher octaves of the upper hemisphere of the wheel. Successful relationships with others in the 7th house experience that, and transformation and understanding of the metaphysical in the 8th house, and then moving on into the 9th house to understand higher divine wisdom and actually merge with the higher self. From there, we're prepared to move into the 10th house, which is the pinnacle of the wheel of the zodiac, the pivotal point where we learn and experience structure, right? The physical, where we can effectively give form and structure and solid physical and metaphysical meaning to our life if we have survived, right? If we've managed to successfully survive the climb to those heights. So then and only there can we see what's next. From there in the 10th house, where we now understand the form and structure of our total experience, our life, our purpose, our destiny, our trials, tests, tribulations, strengths, and weaknesses, then we're ready to use the valuable teachings of Chiron to cross into the world of knowing without knowing how we know. Okay, this is the understanding of the higher harmonics of the outer planets, specifically starting with Uranus. Freedom from form and structure of the physical world, Saturn. Into the higher harmonics of Uranus and the outer planets. Freedom from the constraints of this dense physical plane that we're so bound to and so used to, the gross energies, and by Chiron move on to truly experience knowing of the metaphysical Pluto, the divine knowledge of Uranus, and the cosmic universal experience of the subconscious mind, the universal mind, the cosmic awareness and vision we find through Neptune, the ruler of the 12th house. The Chiron guides us in all different ways and is the prime indicator in the natal chart of where and how we will individually help others to see and heal. We all have an opportunity to lift others and positively affect humankind. So where is Chiron in your chart, and what does it mean? And once we have those answers, we can seek to consider Chiron's aspect relationships to key energies like the luminaries, the sun and the moon. What are its aspects to the dragon's head and the dragon's tail, the hidden dragon's head and tail? Now we're getting into dimensional relationships, and its vital relationship to the house that it occupies. Its aspect to the outer planets is also important. Neptune, Uranus, and by far and certainly Pluto. The Chiron's aspect relationship to Pluto is critical in understanding when you're analyzing Chiron. In my personal opinion, Saturn's aspect can be extremely important to know as well. Just because Saturn is at the center of this orbit doesn't preclude it from being considered a vital part of the analysis. Sometimes we can forget to take meaning from the energy at the center of aspected relationships. So we don't want to forget Saturn when we're analyzing Chiron. If you don't know where Chiron is in your chart, email me with your birth info and I'll tell you. Plus, you never know, the unique monthly housing system that I use may actually reveal something new to you. Not so much the sign that Chiron is in for you, but possibly the house, which will make all the difference in the world and make more sense to you than what you've already been told, maybe by another astrologer. The monthly housing system that I use sometimes reveals to the native a perspective that makes much more sense than, say, the Koch system or the Placidus system. And I've actually found that Louis Turri's monthly housing system, which is where I learned it from, I learned the monthly housing system from Louis Turri, to be the most accurate place to start. And from there, I use methods that are multidimensional rather than just two-dimensional, focusing not so much on personality and your likes and your dislikes, mommy and daddy issues or issues with authority or career, but my focus usually digs deep into matters of your evolutionary path, your journey, the soul's journey, destiny as it relates to how you can find freedom in giving the world what the universe intends for you to have, the natural talent to give.